name's Sam Schuman. Started 303 boards 1997 out of a little office building, actually, 3rd story.
Nice.
Like where you should have a dentist office, basically.
Okay.
I actually had a little shop called Image for 2 years. We did it for a couple years, and we were just kind of making our own little stickers, and coming from a graffiti background, kind of like skateboarding, graffiti, all that went hand in hand. We started gaining a little following, and then I started selling skateboard stuff. Anyway, it just kind of was not the original concept, so we started 303 boards. It was me and my friend Joe Gordon, who actually passed away a couple years ago, rest in peace. But we delivered pizza. We switched shifts, so he would deliver pizza in the day and come cover for me at the shop, put his money in, because we didn't have money. And then I would go at night, deliver pizza, come in the next morning, put my money in, buy some product. In '97, I was like, it wasn't really, internet wasn't big. You didn't really have shop product, but I was like, I want to make boards that, boards and kind of off of the Image thing. I want to do shirts, and then I want to do skateboards. I want to do all this stuff that's localized, but you didn't even have, like nowadays you can just be like, I want a shop deck. You go Google online and there's like 50 people that make them. Back then no one made shop decks.
What's the connection with Image and 303 then? Was Image?
There's not. It was IMAGE
Oh,
we
okay.
did, and then Image came about later.
Interesting. That's weird.
I like bringing that up though.
Yeah. That's such a strange
It is weird.
story.
It is weird. So back then we sold actually skateboards, and then eventually, like, because all the same reps for companies are like, hey, you need to sell snowboards too, because it was all hand in hand. And snowboarding was pretty skate related back then. Like Shorties made skateboards and snowboards, and like 32 is the boot that everyone wore that's out of Etnies S America. So it all was hand in hand, and we sold snowboards for a couple years. We kind of blew up. Like I was just a little shop, moved down into a different level, and then moved into a bigger space, all within a matter of, I was like 21 years old, keep in mind. And then all of a sudden we had like a couple over $1 million years, and we were just like blowing up. I got approached by bigger companies like, we'll buy your shop. And I was like, you guys, I'm not doing this. But I wouldn't even talk to them, you know. Right. People are like, reps are coming to me like, hey, these guys want to sit down with you. They want to buy your concept. And I was like, no. Because this is my life. You know, I skated every day I got off work. I skated. Yeah. All my friends were on the team. I was helping film the first videos, helping edit the first videos. Like I was not about to let someone take my dream, you know. Fast forward a couple years later, all of a sudden we weren't doing $1 million years. The snowboard thing was failing. The whole Tony Hawk boom was over. And we'd only do like a $500,000, but I was still spending money, like making videos and doing everything like we had $1 million. So we went through a little span of like 5 years. It wasn't very good. It was pretty tough. Like probably should have closed the doors every year of that, but I just kept going. Fast forward to now, the last 10 years has been great. We just refocused, like we're a skate shop, that's how we started. No reason for like fashion, snowboards, like companies they want you to sell runners and fashion shit, and it's just like, we're a skate shop. If you can't skate in the shoe, we're not gonna carry it. Mostly t-shirts, hoodies, skateboards, and it's ever since we put our foot down. About 10 years ago, we were a little open. We were like, we're a skate shop, but this is what we do. But then about 5 years ago, we're like, no, we don't, you know, we don't carry runners. We don't carry anything you can't skate in.
Right.
And I think it's just kind of, with a lot of businesses, it's finding, like, this is what we do and sticking to it, because people are always grasping. I mean, the consumer also, they come in asking for running shoes and fashion stuff. You start thinking, oh, maybe we should, you know, let's get some of that. And yeah. You got to figure out what you are and stick to it, is what I've kind of learned. And I think the biggest impact we've had as 303 is just, we've always sponsored good kids. We've consistently put out videos. We're going to put out another video at the end of this year called Love Hurts. Constantly have photographers that we're paying to take photos. We have all of our kids that are killing it on Instagram. It's just like actually caring, because it's important. Like that's the whole reason I started. When I started the shop, I'm like, we're going to have a good team, we're going to have good product, we're going to be the best. And if you lose that, you're just going to start, you know, going downhill in my mind. Yeah. This year we will put out Love Hurts. We're also going to put out about at least 5 21-year parts, filmed by different people of old team guys and the new team guys that are just basically like the twins, Sean and Al, here's where they are now, and they filmed a whole part. We also want to make sure the team hangs out with the team for the most part. That's why this new video is coming together good, because they're actually hanging out. And we lost track of that a couple points in this whole thing because it gets hard. As going back to our mission is just to basically keep skateboarding alive. Like if we got to hooking up the right people, keeping the right product on the shelves, making our stuff the best. I mean, when we make our products, they're not cheap. We don't do it off profit, because there's a lot of brands that'll, and a lot of them are getting smarter now, but they would just make the stuff as cheap as possible and sell it for as much as they can. I mean, our stuff, everything we produce is like, we want it to be a good skateboard, good wheels. All the product we sell, we want to be good, because we want to keep people skating. One of the main reasons we're successful, we're constantly pushing. Like, we never just sit around and just think things are going to happen. You got to make things happen. So we're constantly talking to companies about our next collaboration, talking about our next video, talking about what's our next big step, what are we going to do. You just have to always be on your toes, basically, and always making something happen. I think in all shops that do it, it's out of love of skateboarding, so I think that they don't go wrong there. But there's also the part that you have to work your ass off to succeed. You can't just, it's just not an industry where you can sit around with this much going on and the internet and everything and just think it's just going to come. Yeah. Definitely have a chocolate collection coming out. It's like apparel and boards. A baker collection, apparel and boards. Happy hour shades, apparel and shades. And those are the only finalized ones. And then we're trying to get a couple more art decks out. So when we decided to open Boulder, it was like, we're good friends with, we try to remain friends with everyone, all the skate shops. It's too small of a scene to be like in a bad competitive nature. It's good to be competitive, but not, you know, we'll send customers to Image, or if we have to the bigger chains, but we try to send them to at least to like Image, Meta, Crisis, all the local people if we can. And when Sam from Meta's like, he closed his store and like, I'm not gonna reopen. And then Jeremy from Crisis is closing his store this month. We had talked about Boulder a long time, but we wouldn't do it if one of those guys was up there, because we're not going up there to like get in a war with friends and mutual skateboarders and stuff. So once we heard that, I kept trying to talk myself out of it, but we found the perfect spot. We had the money, things are going right for us, and so we opened on the hill about a month ago, and so far it's been great. Like the response, customers, it's done really well. People want skateboarding stuff, we have it. We're not going to go up there and be a fashion store. Like, you know, we're going to get the college dude, you know, the college crowd that comes in and asks for stuff we're not going to have. We're not going to mold to that. Like, we are what we are. Right. So I actually didn't even pick up a skateboard until I was 15 years old, but I know everyone says it, but it definitely changed my life. Like, that's all I cared about at that point. I still to this day, I don't skate as much as I used to, but it's all I care about it. I mean, I watch all the new videos. I care about what's going on. I care about the local scene. I still skate a couple times a week, if you still want to call it that. I don't know if it's skating anymore. Still roll around. Yeah, I'm getting old too. As I hit 40, in the 40s, it gets tougher. But yeah, it's just something and that's a lot of our staff too. Like, even if they don't skate a lot now, or they used to, or they still do, like, we actually care about skateboarding. And I think anyone that works here is in that, it's changed their life at some point, if it still isn't changing their life. I don't know how to word it without sounding cheesy, but I'm sure we're all in the same boat. Once you've had skateboarding in your life, it's like part of your life. Yeah. I don't care if you quit skating, if you only skated for 5 years, 2 years, once you have skateboarding, it's always at least part of your life. To me, it's one of the, they'll keep coming. Right.